What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and continue learning about weird British objects. Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, feel free to go check that out or stay here in Part 2. That's perfectly fine as well. But in Part 1, I started learning about some British items that I had no idea existed. This included what? Windows that open with a key and windows that like swing out instead of pushing up. We have different windows apparently in Britain and America. Who knew, right? And the combination washer and dryer. Oh my God, why? I was thinking about this in part 1. Why is Britain holding on to all this technology and not sharing it with the rest of the world? Or maybe everyone just has this and not us Americans, but you can have a washer and dryer in one unit and it's convenient. And it makes so much sense, but I didn't know about it. But it's just in Britain, so our British keyboards, that makes sense. Parking brakes, apparently British use the parking brake. And we sure don't. I forget it exists half the time. The electric kettle was another thing that, yes, that also makes sense. Electric kettle. I was really being sold on the electric kettle, actually, in part 1. That actually could be quite useful. I don't know why we don't have that either. Probably because we're not really a tea drinking people. And weird flavored chips, like roast dinner chips or crisps. And this has been very, very entertaining for me. And educational, to be honest, so I'm very curious to finish out this video and learn about more things that Britain has that I had no idea about. So, with that being said, let's take a look.
Next up is corn on pizza, or as the Brits would say, sweet corn on pizza.
What? What? It just comes out of nowhere. Not what I was expecting. Corn on pizza? I don't want to come across as judgmental here. But corn on pizza? I've never heard of that. And Americans like corn. We love pizza. Corn on pizza. I've never even thought about that possibility. That's funny. Is that good? Maybe the joke's on me. Maybe this is good. I've never heard about this being a British thing, though.
Pizza. Pizza toppings are fascinating to me between countries, and we're actually going to do a whole deep dive between UK pizza and American pizza.
Oh!
Or should I say, deep dish dive.
Okay. Apparently there's a lot of differences between pizza in America versus Britain. That actually sounds really interesting. Is corn on pizza worth trying? Is it worth me getting strange looks from everyone who sees me? No one will look at me the same if I have corn on pizza. But maybe it's really good. I don't know. It's kind of like sweet on the pizza, corn flavor on the pizza. I don't know.
Get it? Anyway, I had never seen someone suggest that you can put corn on pizza before.
No.
But apparently you can. My husband loves it this way. It comes as an option in UK Pizza Hut. I'm not gonna lie.
This, what? Really? Because I was wondering, like, is this just her British husband? Is this just a few people who like corn on pizza? Is this really a British thing? They offer it in Pizza Hut in the UK. No way. It's that popular. Wow.
I think it's weird, but then why is it more weird than having other toppings on a pizza? It's not. I'm just not used to it, and it's something I hadn't seen before moving to the UK.
True. Good point. I'm trying to be open-minded on this. This is a weird one. I'm sorry. It's just because, you know, I've only grown up here in America. We have our American ways, and it's never included corn on pizza. Or even, no one's even been bold enough to suggest this combination. But I have to admit, I'm intrigued now. Okay, let's keep going. This is good stuff.
Next up is the British flush. Everyone loves talking about toilet flushes, obviously. Favorite topic, that's why you're here. But
British flush? British flush. What could that mean?
Did you know? I had never seen this kind of toilet flush button until moving to the UK.
What? What is this? What is this? What does this do? Does this like like blow up the world? Is what does this button do? Okay, this is on toilets? It's like two buttons. Two buttons in one. What is it to flush the toilet? Brits have a button instead of a little lever thing. I don't know why I'm doing this, but flipping the lever. You have buttons?
I had only seen ones like this in the US, and actually, when I was in the US a few months ago,
Right.
I did see a button type one in an airport, so they could be catching on. But the first time I used a
Really?
UK toilet in Heathrow Airport, I literally took a picture of the flush button because I was like, what in the world is this thing? Next is a
What? Okay, that's all the explanation there is, huh? So, this is common? This is common in Britain? I always have to ask that because I'm just like, I can't believe it. There's things that are so different that I had no idea about. The corn on pizza, buttons instead of little levers. This seems strictly, I don't know, more high tech, I guess. So the toilets are a little better in Britain. Why are there like two parts to the button? Does that mean anything? I got a lot of questions about the British toilet button, but I think we're going to leave it at that. And I'm just going to lie awake at night wondering about this button. But anyway, let's keep going.
pull cord to turn on a light. It's a little bit
Oh.
old school, even in the UK. But when I first moved to the UK, there was a pull cord to turn on the light in the bathroom in my in-laws' house, and this was very strange to me.
Yes, this would be strange. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking around right now, like on the fan. There's a ceiling fan above me. It has a pull cord to activate the fan and the light. Has a little cord. Other than that, other than a fan, you don't really see that at all anywhere in an American house. So, thanks to fans, I'm familiar with them. Are pull cords more common in Britain? That's very, very random to me. Why would that be? They're just kind of like old school?
It has to do with regulations about electric connections in the bathroom in the UK, which is a whole
Okay.
other video. But I had for sure never seen a cord to turn on a light. I swear to you,
Right.
I panicked every single time I turned it off or on because you had to pull it really hard to get
Oh.
it to work. And I was always afraid I was going to break it. And actually, at one point, the cord did snap and they had to tie it back together.
They're really hard to pull. You know what else this reminds me of, like in old houses, in like a cabinet or a pantry or something, a closet or an attic. You might run into a pulley string cord activated light. Is this really more common in the UK? That's very interesting to me if that's true.
I've never had a pull cord to turn on a light in my own home in the UK, but this is
No.
definitely something I had never seen in the US.
Right.
So,
True.
tell me.
True, this is very true. There's not just pull cords around the house to activate lights, except for the ceiling fans. Then there is. I don't know. So I'm kind of familiar with a pull cord. It's just not common. This is a weird one to me. Okay.
Do you have a pull cord to turn on the light in your bathroom? The next one
No.
is a sad one, and not because of the thing, but because I hadn't seen the thing, and the thing is a crumpet. I had never seen a crumpet before.
A crumpet. A crumpet. Crumpet is like the most British sounding word to an American. Like when Americans think of Britain or a British stereotype, we start talking about tea and crumpets. A crumpet is like some kind of pastry, right? Or you can have it with tea. Maybe it's kind of like a muffin or something. I'm not sure.
Moving to the UK. I definitely did not know what it looked like, though I had heard of it as in tea and crumpets.
Yes.
But I could not have picked a crumpet
Yes.
out of like a baked goods lineup. if that
Exactly.
makes sense.
Exactly. Like, for some reason, us Americans, we have heard the word crumpet, but never really seen one. I think somewhere along the line, in some video I've done, especially ones on tea, I have seen a crumpet. It's like, but it's hard to describe. It's like what we call an English muffin, I think, actually. But most Americans have never seen one. We've only heard stories and legends about this thing.
Sense. For those who are not in the know, crumpets look like this, and they're basically the perfect vessel for butter.
Yeah. This is literally what Americans call an English muffin. If this is what it is, this is a thing in America. It's not that popular at all, but they exist. They exist. Believe me. And we call them English muffins? Maybe that's why. Maybe we associate them with being like an English thing, a UK thing, but we don't want to call it a crumpet for some reason. So this is a crumpet. Okay, perfect, great.
After you toast them. And while I do not eat them often, when I do eat them, it is the best thing ever.
Okay.
Next is the
crumpets are, I mean, yeah, I got nothing against crumpets. They look very good. I've had English muffins. They're good. I should have them more often. We don't have like tea or dedicated tea time during our American days. It's very sad. So we don't have like a food that goes with it or a snack. And the crumpets seem like a really, really good for that purpose, actually.
blackcurrant flavor. So did you...
Black currants. Okay. Black currant. Oh my God. Now, I'm so glad this is part of this list because I'm still very confused about black currant. Apparently, this is a flavor or a berry and therefore a flavor in the UK. I'm not exactly sure what the flavor is or tastes like because I've never had it or had anyone describe it. I heard this word somewhere along the line, had no idea what this meant. It sounds like the name of a band or a river, the Black Current, or some current in the ocean or something. Most Americans, like all Americans basically, have never heard of this word, have no idea what this is or that it's a flavor. I heard about it on YouTube or the internet or something. So I'm very glad this is on the list.
No, that blackcurrant flavor is not a thing in the US.
No.
Blackcurrant bushes were actually banned in 1911 in the US due to a fungus it carried called white pine blister rust that threatened the timber industry. Cannot have that.
Oh, we literally can't have blackcurrant, like because of law, I guess.
So most Americans today have never eaten a blackcurrant, whether like in any form.
No.
The actual berry, in a jam, in a sauce, nothing.
This is true. This is absolutely true. So it's a berry, and you make like jams and sauces. This can be like a flavor of water or something as well, right? I think.
This same fungus actually does happen in Europe. It's not exclusive to America. But Europe kept the blackcurrants and got rid of the white pine tree, while America went the other way, which is pretty interesting if you ask me. And
that is interesting. Oh, she didn't explain the flavor or anything. I kind of want to look that up. What's the flavor? Okay, here we go. Black currants have a strong, tart taste with hints of cherry and an earthy tone. Cherry with an earthy tone. Okay. I'm still not sure what this means. It's like when one of the sommeliers, wine tasters, tries to explain the taste of a wine professionally. It's like, oh, it has an earthy, it has the smell of fresh tennis balls and earthy cheese. And it's like, what are you saying? It smells like it tastes like freshly clipped grass. Like, when have you eaten that? Some say they taste like grapes, while others compare them to passion fruit or raspberries. So no one can really say what they taste like. They taste like everything. Cherries, grapes, passion fruit, raspberries. Eaten raw, they are tart, but they are sweet when ripe. When dried, they have vanilla and wildflower taste. Okay. I'm still confused on the blackcurrant taste, but there you go. Let's keep going.
finally, rhubarb. Rhubarb is an interesting plant. Technically a vegetable, but often eaten as a fruit.
Rhubarb. The first thing my mind went to is like rebar, which is like used in building things or something. This is rhubarb.
I don't entirely know what that means, but when I was researching rhubarb, a website said that, so we're gonna roll with it. I have
Okay.
never heard of it. I like how sometimes I say,
I might have heard this word, rhubarb, but now I think I was thinking of rebarb, rebar. And I have no idea what this thing is.
I'm bringing you the most accurate information possible, and sometimes I'm like, I scanned this in Wikipedia in 2 seconds and added it
Okay.
into the video, restating it as
Okay,
fact.
okay, fair,
So
fair.
this rhubarb segment, you guys, it's a little sketchy. Anyway,
Okay.
I had never seen or heard of rhubarb while living in the
Rhubarb. What is this? Do Brits eat this? Is this like lettuce? It's a big leaf plant. Okay.
US. Now you can understand why so much research has had to be done. Further investigation has revealed to me that possibly this was because I lived in the South, and the climate in the American South, it's not good for rhubarb. So it's more popular in the northern states, but it's still a relatively unusual ingredient in many parts of America and not as often used as in the UK. Now this
Right.
brings me to the end of this video.
Okay. All
Which
right.
of my answers surprised you the most?
Okay. Oh, okay. And that's it. That's the end. Very good. That was very enjoyable. A bit shocking at times. I got to be honest. But educational, I think. I'm actually glad to know about these British things I didn't know about, these objects. And many of these, I'm left wondering, why don't we have these here in the United States? They seem cool. The toilet button, the pull cords, whatever, I can live with or without them. Crumpets, but we have English muffins, so I think we have crumpets, but don't know it. Black currant, apparently it would kill all of our pine trees, so we can't have that. And rhubarb, we might have. Anyways, this was a very funny list. This is actually very enjoyable. This was by Girl Gone London, and I got to give this a like because I liked that very much actually, and I learned a thing. Anyway, if you liked this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these British items. I'm just remembering now. The other item was corn on pizza. Corn on pizza. Yeah, I'm never going to forget that one. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.